I'm Richard Clay, and I'm here today to introduce to the city of Detroit, to the state of Michigan, and to the world, a new campaign. We are here today, all of us that you see right here, but many, many more who support us. We are here today to announce the launching of a new campaign. It is a campaign launched by and for the people. This is the Drive for 5 People's Protection Campaign. The Drive for 5 People's Protections Campaign is coming out of the movements that have already been going on in the city of Detroit. They were already going on mostly throughout 2018, 2019, and 2020. So this is a continuance of movements that our people have already been doing. To give you a little bit of history and overview of the Drive for 5 People's Protections Campaign, many of you will remember that there was a lot of water being shut off here in the city of Detroit. We are coming to you now live from the DWSD, Detroit Water and Sewage Department's West Side building on Grand River in Winthrop. We chose this site to launch our new campaign because of the history. From 2013 through 2019, in the city of Detroit, they shut off 140,000 water accounts. Left that many people without water at an average of over 20,000 per year. And they did that despite many people asking them not to, many citizens complaining, complaints filed everywhere. Even the United Nations stepped in and called the shutoff of water in Detroit massive human rights violations. But they continued it anyway. And in the pandemic, they did little or nothing to restore all of that water. So the cry for water affordability and a full-scale water affordability plan has been going on in this city since at least 2014. That is one of the issues that we are demanding. The people of Detroit need protection in this area. A second issue, they're not in any order, but one of the other issues that we are here today to represent in our campaign is the issue of facial recognition. Facial recognition technology, they have been installing it all over this city. They've been doing this even though they know it misidentifies black people, especially black women, and it will be used to imprison more black men under false pretenses. We have to stop the implementation of facial recognition technology in this city. We got to stop it. But also, we know that there have been at least 2 people who have already been falsely accused of crimes, put in jail, and had to be released using that facial recognition technology. All forms of it, we say ban it here in Detroit because you're not using it in any of the white cities that surround us. Another issue is, of course, comprehensive police reform. Comprehensive police reform became the cry all across the nation after the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And yet, the only thing that has happened in our city is lip service from city council and from the mayor. Another issue that we are here about is racial health disparities. Racial health disparities were already tremendous here in the city of Detroit, with black people having twice and 3 times more the rates of asthma and lung diseases and diabetes and all of these different illnesses and chronic diseases in many instances because of our environment being so polluted, in many instances because of our diets and the access to food or the lack of access to nourishing food that we have. And so we have had to constantly try to get our government to address these grievances of reducing racial health disparities. In their response, they have constantly been reducing the size of the city's health department. Everybody remembers when they closed Herman Kiefer back some years ago. And the other issue out of the 5 that we are here to address and that we're going to be addressing is, of course, the $600 million worth of over-taxation that they did to property owners, to homeowners in this city, running from 2010 to 2016, roughly. And this is something that helped to drive more and more black people into foreclosure and flip the city of Detroit from a city that was all about owning your house to a city where now the majority of us rent our houses. It was a master stroke that they did. They cheated, they overtaxed us, and we are launching this campaign to make sure that our people get reimbursed. Now, what are we going to do, and how are we going to bring these things into implementation? These are protections that we are demanding on behalf of the people of Detroit who have been wronged and who have suffered. And when I talked about the racial health disparities, COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on the world. It's really wreaked havoc on Detroit because the racial health disparities were not addressed before COVID. So this is what we're going to do. We are now representing many of the community groups who are out here fighting on these issues before the pandemic came and shut everything down. And when the pandemic shut everything down, we know that the Detroit City Council members, along with Mayor Mike Duggan, they went and disappeared. They went on Zoom calls and they gave out fake codes and ID numbers to the public on how to get onto those Zoom calls. The people who liked and supported them had the real numbers. Everybody else got the fake numbers, so the Zoom calls for at least 3 to 4 months were fake. And they ignored us. And it's 1 year later, and all of the momentum from the people who are marching in the streets on police reform, from all of us who were down at the city council meetings fighting for water reform and water affordability plans and fighting for our people to be reimbursed on the taxes, they act like it never even happened. Like they never heard from us. So now we launched this campaign to remind them who we are and what we stand for, what our people have demanded of them. And this is how we're going to do it. When you see posters like the one that I am holding, the Drive for 5 People's Protections campaign, you will see that on these posters it has a list of city officials. It has all of their numbers, their emails, and their fax numbers. Starting on Monday, March the 22nd, we are calling upon everybody in this city who agrees with these 5 protections for our people to take out a Monday afternoon. We're going to start it at 1 p.m., but if you can't do 1 or you work or something, you do it whenever you can on that Monday. But every Monday, we ask that you make 10 phone calls and send off 10 emails or 10 faxes. And let these councilmen and the mayor, Mike Duggan, know that you want them to implement the policies and the protections that are called for by the Drive for 5. Let them know that you support all 5 of them and that you will only vote in this election for candidates who support and implement policies that come from the Drive for 5. They can do other things to support our people and help the people of Detroit too. But if they don't implement the Drive for 5 protections, and if they have not been implementing, or if they have been going the opposite of these, then they can't get our votes. But we're gonna ask you to make those calls. We're gonna ask you to go to your church groups, your block clubs, the organizations you participate in, and ask them to make those calls with you. If you happen to go and attend the city council meetings on Tuesday mornings, sign up for public comment and say the same thing. I support the Drive for 5. I want y'all to implement all 5 protections, and if you don't, you can't get my vote. It's that simple. We are going to organize our people around this campaign. The people already support it. We're just giving them the tools. And the final thing that I'm gonna say before I introduce a couple other people who wanna talk today and make their points clear is that we have launched a website to support this campaign. It is thedrive45.com. Let me just say that out. All lowercase. THEDRIVEFOR 5.com. Thedrive45.com. All one word. This website is a state-of-the-art professional website that you can use to get educated on the history of how we got to this point, who put us in this point. Thank you, Mayor Mike Duggan and Detroit City Council, and how we're going to get out of it. The strategy of depending on ourselves, us, self-determination actions to do this and uplift our people. And you can use that website to call and email, because again, all their phone numbers, fax numbers, and emails will be listed. Every Monday at 1 p.m., we're gonna call all 10. We're gonna jam their phones, jam their faxes, jam their emails, and let them know that this election year, it's all about the Drive for 5 People's Protections campaign. I'm gonna introduce now our next speaker. You all know her. You know her well. You love her. She is the vice chair of the Detroit City Charter Commission. She is also a person who is now running her own radio show. You can catch it on YouTube or Facebook. She is also soon to be a newly elected Detroit City Council person, because she is running for Detroit City Council at large, and she is the people's candidate and a supporter all the way, 100%. She's down with the Drive for 5. Here she is, Nicole Small.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard, for inviting me here today to be a part of this historical event. Let me be clear, the Drive for 5 has all the hallmarks of a movement in this city for real change. The Drive for 5 is addressing all of the issues that negatively impact so many Detroiters right on their doorstep every day. Unaffordable water, unjust criminal justice system and crime against our Detroiters, non-affordable housing that we have, health disparities and racial disparities, all of these things that we encounter on a daily basis. Yet, we have a current and existing administration that dismisses our concerns. Over-taxation to so many Detroiters that resulted in illegal foreclosure and losing of their home. Still to this day, City Council and the Mayor are looking for solutions. We have given them solutions. We submitted a proposal over a year ago asking for a tax credit every year. That would not bankrupt the city. That would allow for the city to still collect some taxes, but to also make sure you provide some relief to Detroiters. Even during a pandemic, they don't see any reason to address this issue. They don't see any reason to address facial recognition of where now we've implemented and supported more than $30-something million to put into this technology that falsely identifies African Americans. We're the supermajority of this city. How dare you take our money and you spend it on something that's against us? These are the conditions that we're living in. This is why it's so important, and it should be non-negotiable, for you to pick up the phone on Monday at 1 o'clock and to contact your representatives and to tell them that you are demanding that there is some change and that you support the Drive for 5. We must stay steadfast in this effort. We must stay focused. We stand to lose so much this year if we don't make some changes in 2021. They have shown us over and over again that they could care less about what we endure on a daily basis. It doesn't matter what the people's interest is. All that they're concerned about is corporate welfare and corporate interests. If you are not a part of that group, then you need to stand with us on this Drive for 5 and let them know you will not be re-electing them to office. You will not be supporting their efforts to dismantle our communities, and that you want your money back from being overtaxed, and that you want real affordable water, real affordable housing, and you want a police department that understands the sensitivity to racial issues. You want a real police department that is not going to abuse their powers to take over and to abuse the people in Detroit. These are the things that we are asking for. We're not asking for a favor. We're demanding what we deserve. So again, make sure that you reach out. The telephone numbers are here. Contact your elected officials, contact your district person, and then contact both of your at-large city council people and let them know that you're supporting the Drive for 5. Thank you.
Okay. Now I want to introduce our next speaker. Thank you very much, Nicole. You said it well. And once we get you elected onto that city council, you will represent us well there too. She's been out here on all of the fights, y'all know it. And if y'all voting for anybody for city council, surely you're voting for Nicole Small. Our next speaker that I want to introduce has been out here also. She's been out here a long time representing the city of Detroit, representing the people. Doing it when it wasn't even popular for people to be out here. She has been one of the most outspoken people for our people, representing us, our issues, Detroit issues, for as long as I have known her, and even before I knew her. She has the Call 'Em Out Coalition. And Detroiters know her well because she has never, ever hesitated to call out the suckers who have been oppressing our people. She is known worldwide for holding the Sambo dinner every single year on a daily basis. And then these jokers got a nerve to be mad after all this selling out that they do and all of this destroying Detroit institutions. They get mad when she hosts a Sambo dinner and they get what they deserve, which is a Sambo award. First place, second place. Yeah, we remember it, Chief Craig. But anyway, let me go ahead with no further ado and introduce Miss Agnes Hitchcock.
Hi, my name is Agnes Hitchcock and I'm the steward of Call 'Em Out. The reason I call myself the steward is I'm not a president. I'm holding this organization down until the people are ready to take it over. We started out by holding Sambo dinners. We thought that we could shame black people who were elected to public office who weren't serving the interests of their people. But it turns out they have no shame. But we still hold them accountable by trying to point them out to the people regularly. Most recently, we've worked on the $600 million over-taxation. This is the issue that Detroiters were overcharged on property taxes, actually causing some people to lose their homes for taxes they really didn't owe. But backing up some, these 5 issues that are on the Drive for 5 campaign have been used to drive black people out of the city of Detroit. Make no mistake that what happened to us in the city of Detroit did not just happen. It was a plan. It was executed and it's carried out. In that plan, the city of Detroit owned the water department. Now our water department is gone through bankruptcy. In the city of Detroit, we had a majority black police department. We have people who, you go out and do a countrywide search and come back with a police chief who does not understand the people of the city of Detroit, and we end up with a police department that is majority white. Comprehensive police reform. We need police in the city of Detroit that live in the city of Detroit and can empathize with the people who live in the city of Detroit. Next issue, the $600 million, as I said before. People's property was over-assessed. Over-assessed means that you would charge taxes that you really didn't owe. Once you would charge these taxes that you really didn't owe, you lost your home for non-paid property taxes. You cannot make up to a person for taking their home and tell them that you're going to give them a discount on another property. Who does that? That does not work for anybody. We want the people in the city of Detroit to have a home for what they owed in taxes, not the overassessed amount, not the amount that the city sold their home for. We want the people made whole in the city of Detroit. Health disparities. We all know that when a black person is sick, our pain, to people who are in authority, our pain is not the same as their pain. They think our blood is not red like theirs. They think that we can stand more pain than anybody in the city of Detroit. So I'm encouraging people to stand behind these 5 issues on this Drive for 5 campaign. These are the issues that were used to drive black people out of the city of Detroit. And thank you, Richard, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Right here. Okay. I wanna make a couple things clear to people. As we build this campaign, today is the kickoff. This is the official kickoff. We start organizing right now. Our first action, as a part of our action strategy, will take place Monday, March 22nd, because from there on, every single Monday at 1 p.m. or earlier than that for people who are busy in the afternoon, we call the mayor's office and we call the city council members and we tell them what it is that we have to tell them. Now, I want to make this clear. I got with these good people here, and I really pushed to start this effort for the Drive for 5 because the agenda was already set by the people. It was already out there. And we encourage anyone to join us, to work with us. But I want to say this too, because we have a lot of groups across the city of Detroit who are doing a lot of different things. And some groups and some people like to work independently. If you don't want to see us, that is fine. But you cannot deny the issues, that these are the issues of the people. So if you don't even want to see us or bump into us, use the website, thedrivefor5.com. The flyers are up there. Print them off. Go and use them to organize. The website is there. Use it to organize. The posters that we're holding that are professional grade, print them off. Use them. Get your church group, your block club, your school group, your community group, your children, get them involved. Throw your own Zoom parties where everybody on the Zoom is just sitting there calling. post, tweet, do whatever you have to do on social media. Help us to grow this campaign, whether you are in our vicinity or not, because this is the strategy that will work. This is our opportunity to get what we deserve, and we're gonna get it. This is not something that we're gonna do for the slow or the short haul. We looking long term. And the other candidates who want to get elected, they might not even be in office right now, but if they want to get elected and they want to get our vote and they come out to some forums, they got to do the same thing that the candidates got to do that we're calling. They have to support publicly the Drive for 5 People's Protections campaign. I'm going to turn it over right now. Any of our other people who are out here that want to come up and say something, just come on up, say your name, introduce yourself, and go ahead and express to the city and in fact the world how it is you feel about the Drive for 5. Thank you.
Richard, there's some other people here.
Okay.
Mike Shane is here.
Okay.
Joanna Underwood is here. Bill Davis is here.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got to introduce some people then.
Okay. I have to be on a court call at 2.
Okay, Mike, you want to speak?
Oh, no, I got to be on at 4
Okay.
at 2 o'clock.
All right, Bill, you want?
Yeah.
Bill, Daryl. Oh, I know Joanna. I got to get Joanna.
Right behind you.
Okay, all right, let me introduce Joanna. Okay, hold on. Hey, y'all got to let a brother know these things. I can't see it. Okay, I've just been informed we have another one of our courageous and great leaders here today. I know she putting in work because she was on the radio this morning. So she's working and she is here. She is one of the people who has been leading us. You voted for her, Detroit. You elected her to the Detroit Charter Revision Commission. And unlike other people who you voted and elected to that commission, she is not disappointed. She is not sold out. She has stood strong. And she has been standing strong as a community leader and a warrior in this city now for a long time. Without any further ado, let me introduce to you a big-time supporter of all 5 of these issues, Charter Commissioner Joanna Underwood.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Hi, everybody doing? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to. I just want to come out and support this campaign, support Richard Clay. He has been very inspiration of mine. If he could get out here with his disability and fight for our community, there's no excuse why everybody shouldn't be out here and supporting this campaign. This campaign, these issues, these 5 issues, a permanent full-scale water affordability plan is something that we worked on in the Charter Commission. A ban on facial recognition and technology is another issue. A comprehensive police reform, definitely. And we also want community policing, and we also want our police officers to reflect the community, that the population. Yeah. And we also reimbursement of Detroit homeowners for the $600 million over-taxation, and a reduction of racial health disparities. Now, I want to address this issue with the overtaxation. We want the reimbursement of everybody that was overtaxed, but we also want to bring to light that they are still giving higher tax assessment on property in the city of Detroit currently. Now, they're not going over the 50% deadline like they did before, but now they are taxing poor black communities at a higher tax assessment between 20 to 50%. The poorest among us that are homeowners are paying the highest property taxes because of this assessment. And this is done by the city assessor, Alvin Horn, who's appointed by Mayor Mike Duggan. Anybody that comes to us in the grassroots that try to tell us that this is an issue we can take to the governor, we cannot take to the governor. We cannot take it to no federal courts. We can't take it to even a state court. We have to battle this issue with the local government of the city of Detroit, Mayor Mike Duggan, and the city assessor and the city council is the only ones that can fix the housing crisis that we have in the city of Detroit with the Detroit Land Bank, with the higher assessment of property taxes, with equal to higher property taxes bills for all Detroiters, especially the ones that's in a poor community. And I'm committed as an activist to be a housing advocate for like 5 years. And if we do not get access to the land, we are slaves, okay? What separates us between the slaves that lived back in the day until now, the black people that were slaves back in today until now, is the fact that the people that was born and sold as chattel property, they did not own land. If the land bank got 90,000 parcels of land inside of their land bank, and with the new demolition bond, they're gonna tear down more houses. That means another couple thousand, or well, actually it's gonna be maybe another 20,000 or more parcels of land being added to the 90,000 parcels of land that they already have. What's gonna happen to that land? Who gonna get access to that land? Is there gonna be any single family home development? None of that stuff was addressed in the city, State of the City addressed by Mayor Mike Duggan. So please support this campaign, the Drive for 5 People Protection Campaign, and support the policies that reform that the city of Detroit needs to save the city of Detroit. And thank you so much, Richard Clay, for this campaign. And thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day.
And Richard, let me say this. On Thursday, you can cut the camera off. I'm going to be down at Cutter's Bar in Eastern Market doing an interview with Steve. So anybody that wants to come down and buy your burger, just come around and it'll be about half an hour at 2 o'clock. What time? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Thursday.
Thursday, Cutters, too.
Thursday at 2 o'clock. All right. That's it.
Did Bill want to speak?
I don't care.
Go on.
Okay.
Bill.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am Police Commissioner William M. Davis. And these 5 points are at a minimum that people should be able to support. I'm a City of Detroit retiree. I've loved this city. I've been an activist for 40 years before some of these people was born. You know, we have been robbed. We are continuously being robbed. As a pensioner, I am robbed every single month. You know, you talk about health disparity. The city of Detroit, with that Snake Snyder, pushed thousands and thousands of city retirees, mostly black people, into this made-up fake bankruptcy and stole our health care. Talking about health disparity. If you work 20, 30, 40 years for the city and you have health care and it's stolen, and they cut your pension, and they talk about this $600 million in over-taxation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot more than $600 million. We've been robbed. We're still being robbed. We're still being overtaxed. The over-taxation started back at least in 2008. This is an ongoing process. We need to stand up and demand better from our leadership. We can do better if we all step up and vote and take action. Thank you.
All right. As we leave, get ready to leave, let me just get a media, let me see, where's our mic? I just want to, again, we have a big problem with media in our community because we don't own much of it. We don't control much of it. And therefore, we get the wrong end from much of it. So I want to give a shout out to Madison Martin, Brother Sanwabu here in coverage, representing the Urban Information Network. Also, Quasi Aquamu is here representing the newspaper Rebuild, and you will definitely see some footage from today's event on the website, thedrivefor5.com, and possibly even on blackboysincrisis.com. We have to develop our own media to cover our own issues and our people in the right light. Thank you, everybody, for coming.